Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about the facial nerve and its different fibers. Okay, so we have the GSA fibers, which stands for General Somatic Afferent. These fibers detect touch, pain, temperature from the external ear, and they use the ventral trigeminothalamic pathway. Keep in mind that for this pathway there is also cranial number 5, 9, and 10 that go through the same pathway. Their GSA goes through the same pathway for touch, pain, temperature from external ear. So here we have cranial number 5. It detects pain or touch or temperature from the external ear, and it will go to its respective cell bodies located in the trigeminal or semilunar ganglion. And then since this ganglion has pseudounipolar neurons, the message will go through the fibers over here of the cranial number 5 GSA fibers, and it will go to the spinal trigeminal tract. The same goes for cranial number 7. The cell bodies are located in geniculate ganglion, and for cranial number 9 the cell bodies are located in petrosal, and for cranial number 10 the cell bodies are located in superior ganglion, and they will all go enter the brain through the pons, and they will descend through spinal trigeminal tract. The first synapse is at spinal trigeminal nucleus over here, and after the first synapse the fibers will decussate, which means that they will go to the contralateral side. The fibers will ascend through medial lemniscus. The second synapse is at VPM, stands for ventral posteromedial nucleus in the thalamus, and then through the projecting fibers, corona radiata, and internal capsule, the fibers will go to primary somatosensory cortex, and you will have your third or last synapse there. Next, we're going to talk about the SVA fibers of facial nerve, as well as cranial number 9, glossopharyngeal, and 10 vagus, because the SVA fibers of all of these cranial nerves, 7, 9, and 10, will detect taste, although the receptors for each cranial nerve would be different. So specifically for cranial number 7, facial, you will have your taste receptors in the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. For cranial number 9, glossopharyngeal, the taste receptors are located in the posterior 1/3 of the tongue, and for cranial number 10, the taste receptors are located in the at the end of the mouth, specifically on epiglottis. And again, these fibers will take the message from taste through their receptors via their axons of the pseudounipolar neurons. Specifically for cranial number 7, facial, the cell bodies are located in the geniculate ganglion. For cranial number 9, it is located in petrosal, and for cranial number 10, it is located in inferior ganglion. So here I only have the facial nerve. So they will enter the medulla, and they will synapse in the rostral part of the nucleus of solitary tract. Then they will ascend, and the next synapse is at VPM, a ventral posteromedial nucleus of the thalamus, and then they will go into insula, and specifically the gustatory nucleus, and you will have your last synapse there. I made this caudal part of the nucleus of solitary tract green because I wanted you to keep in mind that the caudal part of the nucleus will receive cranial number 9 and 10 fibers that are specific for detecting blood pressure from the chemoreceptors and baroreceptors, which we'll talk about in later videos. Okay, then we have the GVE fibers of facial nerve. The GVE fibers of facial nerve, one of them will be through the superior salivary nucleus located in pontine tegmentum. The pontine tegmentum will give you 2 different fibers that will innervate 2 different structures. So one of them is through the greater petrosal nerve, which will go through the pterygopalatine canal, and it will become the pterygopalatine nerve, and it will synapse at the pterygopalatine ganglion. So from here to here, from superior salivary nucleus to pterygopalatine ganglion, you will have a presynaptic cell, and this is where you have your postsynaptic ganglion, and they will go and innervate the lacrimal gland and mucosal glands of the nose, and it will basically cause you to tear up. So you have this person crying, and also you will have a runny nose because both are being, lacrimal gland and mucosal glands of the nose are being activated, which makes sense because when you're crying, you will also have a runny nose. So next, the next fibers that are coming from superior salivary nucleus are going to be the chorda tympani, nerve of the facial, and it will go to submandibular ganglion, it will synapse here, and then it will innervate the sublingual and submandibular gland, which are important for salivation, which will cause you to salivate. So this person is thinking of an ice cream and they will salivate, and one of the pathways that will cause the salivation is via the facial nerve through the superior salivary nucleus and submandibular ganglion. The facial nerve also has GVE fibers that will innervate the muscles of facial expression, but because that pathway involves the corticobulbar tract, I will talk about it in the next video.